Is Eagle Rare 17 worth the hype?
Let's find out.
What is going on, everybody? Nathan here with the Everyday Drinker, bringing you guys a brand new video. Today on the bar top, we have a historic bottle of bourbon. This is the 2024 Eagle Rare 17-year bottle of bourbon. And next to me, we've got the mooch. We've got Andrew. Andrew, do you have any thoughts about this bottle?
I am a mooch. It's true. My only thought about it is that it truly is rare, because I've never seen this bottle in the flesh before.
Yes.
Have you before this?
I have not seen this bottle in its flesh until yesterday, or 2 days ago when I picked this bottle up. You guys saw me pick this bottle up. I was fortunate enough to get this bottle in a lottery, spent MSRP of $145 on this bottle. Shout out to Circle Liquors down in Summers Point, New Jersey. If you guys, like I say, if you guys ever go there, make sure you give them my name, let them know that I sent you there. But great bottle, great store. And I'm flabbergasted that this is on the shelf. And it's specifically one of my favorites because it's got a blue wrap. You guys know how much I love blue, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, takes me back to the Weller Foolproof.
The Weller, exactly. Specifically, I got that bottle and I wanted that bottle, not knowing what bourbon really was back then, because that bottle was blue. But here we are. This bottle right here is coming in at 101 proof. It's not barrel proof. It is chill filtered, and it's 17 years and 4 months, I believe, or 2 months, something along those lines. It's over 17 years old. That's all that really matters. And you know, I cracked this open for my Christmas pour, and it was exquisite. And I can't wait to get back into this bottle. And I can't wait for you to experience what this bottle has to offer.
Oh, same.
Andrew, he's just here to enjoy good whiskey, I guess. And you know, it's my fault for inviting him. But you guys get to enjoy his presence as well.
Thank you.
Of course. I think we've talked long enough about this. But without further ado, Andrew, let's get in the nose of this bad boy and see what Eagle Rare 17 is all about.
Let's do it.
You know, going in before we started recording this, we went in with a pour of Eagle Rare 10 year. It's a good nose. It's got flavor. It shows you what it is. But this is just so dense.
Yeah.
It's got so much oak, but it's not there's no bitterness in this oak on the presence of the nose. It's very soft and sweet with that oak. It's almost like it's the oils and the sap from that has to offer. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just rich and deep and dark.
I feel like it's so cherry heavy.
It does have a lot of cherry. And it's not like, when you think about like those darker cherry notes that you find in like a George C. Stagg or the Stags, or sometimes just regular Buffalo Trace, that like Sardo cherry, this is a little bit sweeter of a cherry. Yeah. It's like a candied fruit almost. But then it has that backbone of, you know, that this is something decadent with that oak presence.
Yeah, it smells like Eagle Rare concentrate.
It really does. And you don't get a lot of proof, you know, even at 101 proof, sometimes that kind of blows you back a little bit. This, not
a little. Tiniest bit.
It's got, you know, it's got some proof, but it's not killing your nose hairs. Right. Any other words about the nose before we dive into this bad boy?
I think you, what's the word I'm searching for? Described it. Thank you. Perfectly.
Of course. Cheers.
Cheers, man. It's a little hard. That is the most, like, viscous 100 proof-ish pour I think I've ever had.
This is everything that I've ever wanted in a low proof bottle of bourbon. Yeah.
This gives you, like, all of the sensation that you might want from a barrel proof product. Mm-hmm. It doesn't, obviously not the burn, nor maybe the length of finish, but it gives
the finish is still going.
It's still going, but it gives you all of those things that you would expect from a barrel proof product in a 100 proof product.
Exactly. You nailed that on the head, and it's like you said on the nose, concentrated. Mm-hmm. It's concentrated on the center of my tongue. Usually when I get something that's heavy in the age. Like if you think about, I don't know if you've had Elijah Craig 18 year.
I haven't had it. No.
But for me, and even the Knob Creek 18 year at 100 proof, those, but the Elijah Craig is 90 proof or 94 or something along those lines. I get a bitterness on the edges of my tongue that let me know that this was in a barrel for X amount of time. And that's when you can tell that something is a little bit more aged. But this, it's just so condensed, and I'm not getting any bitterness on the edges of my tongue. And it's absolutely lovely. And I'm going to let you know right now, this finish, I still have a little bit of hints of what this had to offer.
Yeah.
And it was a very, very enjoyable, smooth ride.
Yeah.
You know, talk about smooth, that's a word that kill me, but smooth.
Measured, maybe. It's like it gives you the barrel influence, and it gives you the sweetness of the cherries and the concentrated nature of it.
Yep.
But that just lasts. Like it's there's a consistency that lasts for a long time with it. That's pretty impressive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It would be great if you could find these, man. Wow, because this is like the perfect low proof pour.
It is the perfect low proof pour, and it's a shame.
Have you had Michter's 10?
I've had the Michter's 10 bourbon and the Michter's 10 rye.
I've had the rye, but not the bourbon. Like, does the bourbon?
The Michter
in the same ballpark.
We're close. The one thing about the Michter's 10 bourbon is those are watered down a little bit. You know, the Michter's barrel proof it's a lower barrel entry proof.
Yeah.
So you're getting some interesting whiskey and some fun things that Michter's does that's different than anybody else. So you're getting something that's super close to barrel proof. Obviously, this is not close to barrel proof for Buffalo Trace, right? Barrel proof for Buffalo Trace in this ballpark age is anywhere from 125 all the way up to over 140 proof. So this is getting watered down a significant amount, and then also going through that chill filtered process. So it's completely different than what it came out of the barrel as, which is the George C. Stagg. This is watered down 100 proof George C. Stagg, just a couple more years. But I think that I get the same approach that George C. Stagg has, just without the big upfront punch that George T. Stagg gives.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You know, and I think that's why I think that this might be a little bit more elevated than George T. Stagg, because you can appreciate this and find some softer notes with that George C. Stagg has. It's just a punch to the face of proof, and you kind of get lost in the sauce a little bit.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can find the nuances that this has to offer, and it's really, really amazing. This is a bottle that you sit down and you sip very slowly to just enjoy for what this has to offer.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think anybody would love this. I think
anybody would love this bottle. You know, I don't think that the age might scare some people, but I think that the sweetness and the condensed, refined sweetness that this has to offer would tend to impress a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I am one of those barrel proof guys. I bourbon drinkers. I just love the barrel proof stuff. This is one of the best, top 3, top 4 probably for me that I've ever had. And the other 3 would probably be barrel proof. So it's phenomenal. I wish it wasn't.
I wish it sucked.
Yeah, it's great.
Did we even get into some notes on the palate?
I don't think we did. Well, we did the cherry thing.
We did the cherry thing.
But that's not very...
It just sits and lingers on your tongue, and it brings in so much just sweet oak. And there's a difference between sweet oak and dry oak and bitter oak. Dry oak and dry oak and bitter oak are somewhat of the same, where they take all of the moisture out of your mouth.
Right.
This makes you salivate.
Right.
This just brings all of those just like taste buds and sends them into overdrive.
Yeah.
With a boatload of sweetness.
Right. I'd imagine that's even harder to do with a lower proof whiskey to keep it from being bitter.
Oh yeah.
When it's that old, because you don't have the proof to distract yourself from.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Great. Now I'm just talking this up even more.
But the one thing that I find in this, and tell me if I'm wrong, but a lot of the times in Eagle Rares, you find like a sweet grape, like a grape cola, something along those lines. I find a little bit of raisin. And I get a little bit of raisin that tails off into that back end of the finish, where once it starts to, my palate starts to cool off a little bit, and the finish just starts to just linger a little bit, I get that dried fruit.
Yeah.
And that dried fruit effect is definitely due to the age. And you can get that dry oak, or you can the dried fruit, or you can get dry oak. And I think that the dry fruit conquers over top of that oaky presence.
Yeah, I agree. It's
exquisite. It's absolutely fantastic. And, you know, whiskeys like this are not meant to be shelf queens and not opened and sipped by themselves. So this was an absolute pleasure to sit here and enjoy this with you.
I agree. Thank you very much.
Of course. I mean, this is one that, you know, I'll sit down every once in a while, you know, and have a pour of this. But this is one that, you know, I will pour for people because it's just so darn interesting and fun to just have this bottle. And it's a bottle that a lot of you guys will see on the channel because I will put this in blinds.
Can't wait. Honestly, can't wait.
You know,
we've talked this stuff up so much.
Talk it up so much. And
can't
it's like,
wait.
I want to put... The first thing I want to do with this thing is put it in a blind with Wild Turkey 101.
Yes.
I want to see how it does blind with Wild Turkey 101 and a bunch of other just 100 to 105 proof bottles. See where this falls.
That's a great call.
It's going to be a fun blind. I'm going to invite you. You're going to be in part of it.
I wasn't gunning for that. It didn't have to be.
He was going to say, I know I was going to be a part of it. That was the words he was going to say.
Yeah, I already got the calendar for this year.
Yeah, check. January 27th, check. But one more cheers to this. I got one more sip. You got one more sip. Cheers to you all. And hope you all have a fantastic new year.